What is up, everybody? We are back once again with another podcast, this time with a slight name change. We are now the Views from the Sideline as opposed to the D podcast. I'm here as always with Daniel, and we have Mitch on for today. And it's been an absolutely insane week, I have to say. So let's just jump right into it. We start out with the NBA draft, which was last week. Paolo Banchero goes first to Orlando. Chet Holmgren goes second to OKC. And Jabari Smith goes third to Houston. So those were kind of the three big decisions that I think we talked about earlier too, where who's going to go first, who's going to go second, and who's going to go third. So any initial thoughts on that draft order? Did anybody make any mistakes, or was it kind of expected?
I personally did not expect it. I mean, I don't watch college basketball as much as, average people are watching it. But I mean, in my opinion, I just thought based on the current situation, I heard reports that Mo Bamba would be going somewhere, but then so that would get Chet, and it would be like Jalen Suggs, Chet, they would play together like they did. And then you would have Cole Anthony. But again, Banchero, Anthony, and then Jalen Suggs, like it's looking like, they're still in my opinion, this year they're still going to be in the rebuilding process. And then with Chet going to OKC, I think it's actually good for OKC because as I don't think they have a big like forward center except for Darius Bazley. And then Jabari Smith to Houston. You don't know what's going to happen until they step on the court and they play. So I don't know, what do you guys think? You guys are probably better college guys than I am, honestly.
I'm a big Jabari Smith guy. I think he should have gone first overall. He's who I had going first overall. I think he's easily the most well-rounded player of those top three, even more so than probably Banchero. I think Chet Holmgren is going to be a bit of he's the one I'm probably the most excited to see. But then again, I think he's got a bit of a low floor. I feel like things could go pretty bad with him if he doesn't settle in real quickly. And I am one of the believers that his size is a bit of an issue. I mean, you can't look at someone who's 7'1", 195 pounds and think that he's not going to get, he's not going to get thrown around a little. And I think the summer league is going to be a little bit telling. I feel like if he should be playing on that OKC summer league roster, and that is probably his first taste of NBA caliber talent. And that's definitely going to probably paint the picture for the entirety of his rookie season on whether or not he can, he can battle pretty much in the paint and use that size and still be able to block shots in amongst with the, pretty much in among the trees, pretty much in the NBA.
Yeah, but I think one thing about this draft, at least more than I would say the past 10 years or so, this is the one where it's kind of been really exciting to see who's going to go top three, like what order is going to be. Like, I feel like there's been a consensus number one usually. There's good, like Anthony Edwards, we knew he was going one. Zion, we knew he was definitely going one. Even people like Ben Simmons, we kind of knew they were going. So there haven't been that many surprises. But here, when they drafted Banchero, like a lot of people thought Holmgren was going one. Mitch, you obviously thought Jabari Smith. So I think it's really interesting to see like which team makes the right decision. Let's say 2 years from now, where we'll see where all three of these players are in their careers. But I definitely think, just like you said, Chet Holmgren has the most questions of surrounding how he's going to do. It's that size, just how light he is. I got to think that he's going to get injured. He's going to be dealing with injury, with like knee issues and injuries throughout his first year. That's got to be a thing.
I mean, it's definitely crazy because he's 7'1", right? He's 195 pounds. I'm 6'2", 155 pounds. Like 40-pound difference, a foot difference. It's crazy. So like definitely like he needs to work on his size, especially because he's not going to be the one shooting 3-pointers all game. He's going to be the one who's going to go for the dunks, the blocks, and he's known for his blocks shots. And I think his height does give him an advantage, but he definitely, if he had the size, I think Jabari Smith provides a good example about that because he's big and he also has decent size. And then, I mean, I know Mitch, you're a big Pistons fan. I mean, we saw Jaden Ivey go to the Pistons.
I was exceptionally happy with that.
Yeah, what do you think about, Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham forming a new duo?
I think that was exactly what I wanted from the start of the draft. There was a bit of speculation that he was going to go at 4 ahead of Keegan Murray, and I am so glad that he dropped. And I think he's going to fit right in. He's pretty much he's extremely athletic. I think he's kind of in the similar build to kind of like a John Moran. He's a high flyer. He's not really afraid of making the acrobatic plays, the acrobatic moves. I mean, he's got to work a little bit on his 3-point shooting, but I mean, so did Cade coming in this year. The entire team has to work on 3-point shooting. That's a whole other story. But I feel like they did exactly what they should have done, and they're pretty much ensuring their backcourt to be probably at the top of the league within the next 5 years.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and what do you think about like the Kemba Walker deals and then all the deals they had with the Knicks? Like, I think those are.
Yeah, I mean, the acquisition of Alec Burks and Nerlens Noel, I mean, they're role players. It's not the worst thing in the world to add to the roster, but then again, I was very upset they got rid of Luka Garza. They cut him. They also cut Carson Edwards. I wasn't happy with either of those. I think they had a lot of potential, and they kept around. They signed Marvin Bagley to another deal, 3 years, 30-something million. So I think they also got Jalen Duren, though. So it's going to be interesting how they shuffle around Jalen Duren, Nerlens Noel. I don't know if they still have Kelly Olynyk. They also have Isaiah Stewart. So it's going to be – they're going to try out, I think, a bunch of different rotations in that front court and see just kind of what sticks, because each of them have their flaws. Isaiah Stewart is undersized. He could probably play. He's probably better suited playing the 4. I think Jalen Duren is the most upside out of all of them, obviously. I love his tape. He's a big shot blocker, actually, in comparison to Andre Drummond. But, I like where this roster is going. I mean, would have been nice to keep a little bit more of the youth around, the youth talent that they had. Yes, of course. Do they still have some, like Saban Lee? Of course. But, we'll see how things pan out. And with the Kemba Walker deal, I mean, the buyout is a buyout. I don't know exactly how much it was to be for certain, but frankly, whether or not he stayed with the team wasn't exactly a concern of mine. I feel like, coming off the bench anyways, I feel like where the team is now, I would rather have Ivy log the minutes than Kemba, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think the Pistons were definitely one of the winners of this draft overall. Having Ivy fall to 5th, I think was great. I don't know what the Kings are doing with their draft board, but hey, that's Sacramento for you. But
Keegan Murray was probably the next best forward, but
yeah. But the Kings are like acquiring so many role players. I mean, with free agency, like not even like a day in, and there's so many deals, and the Kings have acquired. I mean, I think we can just talk about it now. Like the trades, I mean, we have so many. I mean, it's what 21 hours in, and
yeah, it hasn't even been a day yet.
Yeah, and it's gonna be even more and more deals going. But I mean, I think we can start off with a few of like the guys who re-signed, because there's just so many. I mean, you have Jokic, lots of money, largest deal in NBA history, super max extension. You had Cat and Devin Booker sign on whatever, something max extension. Harden is negotiating on a 5-year extension. Patty Mills re-signed. Westbrook is somehow back. Bradley Beal, Irving opts in. But there's a lot of controversy about that. I mean, Ja re-signed on a 4-year deal. So, I mean, I think the overall thought is that like these guys are, I mean, I think with like Ja, Cat, Booker, obviously the guys who play with like the better teams, obviously they want to keep going. And I think the Grizzlies have a lot of potential in the future because they're super young, and John Morant's only going to get better and better. And then, I mean, we talked about the Kings before. The Kings got Malik Monk, which, I mean, we discussed this on our earlier podcast. We all know the Lakers. The Lakers sucked this year. I mean, they didn't even make the play in. We thought that Malik Monk was one of those players that actually had a bright spot with LeBron. And he's also pretty young. But he goes to the Kings for 2 years. He reunites with Fox. So like Ekamresh, I mean, I know we discussed it. I remember that about Malik Monk. So what do you think about it? I mean, even though it's a small deal.
I don't really know. I think it's good that the Kings got him, but I don't think he's. If I was Malik, I'd try and stay in LA because I don't think the Kings are going anywhere past the 10th seed this year with their current roster. I know they have a new head coach. They got a bunch of role players. Keegan Murray's obviously coming in, but I don't see them doing anything crazy. So for Malik Monk, I would have stayed with the Lakers or tried to sign with a contender. It's not the Lakers that he got let go, but they if they can get Kyrie, I mean, I wouldn't even think about Monk anymore. If you could get Kyrie for Westbrook, then I don't even think it matters that they let him go. But I think now we should talk about some of these big moves or potential moves that are going to be happening in the next few weeks. The first one being my good friend Kevin Durant decided, that
He wants to go to the Raptors.
Like 4 days after Kyrie Irving literally re-signs, like Kyrie is locked up. He's coming back. You have your same team. You got Seth Curry. You have Joe Harris coming back from injury. You have Nick Claxton. You have the team from last year that was the 1 seed at one point. And he's like, okay, no, I'm just going to leave. I want to trade. Like, I don't understand why he decided to request one now, because I'm just like, just think about it. So he got the team that he wanted. He wanted Kyrie to get the deal. He signed. They both signed with the Nets. They got Harden. Harden didn't work out. So, they got good compensation for it. They got a bunch of first-round picks. They got Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons might be coming back next year. I don't know if KD forgot that he existed. But, literally, so he's like, all right, let me request a trade from a team. Okay, I don't think KD understands that the Nets are actually in a pretty good position. Like, they've just been destroyed by injuries. 2021, when they played that Bucks series, they were going to go up 3-0. Kyrie gets injured. They lose in 7. They lose because KD's foot size is like 1 too big.
All right? I think, but my point is that, like, I can understand why KD did it, because just look, I mean, in my opinion, I don't have an opinion really. I'm not a Nets fan. The only thing is that he's going to the Raptors, which is all good. But what happened with him? I mean, you looked at it, right? He's in the game. He's scoring 30 points a game, maybe a little bit less, obviously. They're the 1 seed. He gets injured and they fall. And they had Irving. I mean, Irving may have been. I mean, he was actually missing home games at that time. But I mean, Kevin Durant's injured, their whole team collapses. I think this year, having Ben Simmons, I mean, you don't know if Ben Simmons is going to be really, really good or he's going to like be the worst player in the NBA. So like, you don't know. But I mean, I would understand why he left, because he's frustrated. They got swept by Boston and they weren't even injured. Like, okay, Joe Harris, but Joe Harris was out for the entire year. So honestly, I have a feeling Kevin Durant wants to just win a ring. And I mean, he's getting older. He's like Curry's age, and I don't know.
Well, if he wanted to win a ring, why would he leave the Warriors in 2019? Like, you're literally on the most stacked team of all time. Why not run it back for 3 years?
Because their hearts got broken and they lost to the Raptors.
I know, but like, it's so stupid. Like, what he's saying doesn't make any sense. Like, he's like, or what he's thinking. I feel like
no, but he was injured. He had an Achilles injury, or yeah.
Well,
he was going to be out for the entire year. So
yeah,
he probably thinks that the Warriors are going to get worse over the year.
I know, but what do you like? Here's the thing. I'm talking about the Nets this year. Okay, he got injured. They dropped from the 1 seed to like the 10 seed. Okay, fine. But what do you expect? When your best player is out, you're gonna get worse. Like, that's just how it works. You're not expecting to stay the 1 seed with Kyrie Irving playing half the games, Kevin Durant being out, and James Harden getting traded. Like, you're not going to be the 1 seed. That's just unrealistic. So, like, I feel like he's way too pessimistic about his situation.
But they dropped all the way to the play. They almost got out of the play, and they were the 10 seed at one point.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. You can't really expect so much out of a bunch of guys who are there to compliment you. They're not going to leave.
He's impatient. He's impatient. He's being a bit of a prima donna. He wants a situation that's strictly. I understand he's going to want to benefit, like a situation that benefits him, but he's not willing to wait for it. And they finally put the pieces together, and this was probably going to be the year where things fell into place. And yeah, no, I guess he wasn't really willing to wait. He wants to follow the money, and then he's going to bring Kyrie with him.
I mean,
Yeah.
he set up the situation himself. He got Kyrie. I already said this, but like he got Kyrie. He got Harden. I mean, they're consulting him on all their moves. I don't know like what his thing about, oh, the Nets haven't. He's definitely thinking like, oh, the Nets have set me up for failure or something. But no, like 2020, you were injured the whole year. You know, we understand. Okay, that's fine. 2021 again, Kyrie gets injured. 2020 this year, you will get injured. We drop. They have played Celtics. Celtics made it to the finals. Like the Celtics weren't like some chump team that they lost to. The Celtics made it to the finals. They beat Miami. They beat the Bucks. Like they're not like some pushover team. So
Yeah.
and the thing is, the Nets are only going to get better if he stays.
But I
have
think
Kyrie.
that,
They have Ben Simmons.
but I think that KD, like he wants to go to a team that like if he I mean, I think there's 5 teams like Bleacher Report posted. There's 5 teams that he wants to go to. I mean, the main are Phoenix and Miami, and then the three teams that are on the side are like Memphis, Portland, or Toronto. And the thing is, like, I think he wants to go to a team to where if he is injured, then that team can like take care of business and actually win games. To where if he plays, they're just dominating. I mean, I think Phoenix is just like Booker re-signed, in my opinion. I think he's not going to Phoenix. Like Booker re-signed on a 4-year deal. Brooklyn wants Booker for Durant. I mean, in that deal, and I don't think that like if I was in this gym, I wouldn't want like Cam Johnson, Ayton, and like Mikal Bridges there. But then there are a bunch of scenarios. I mean, if you guys want to, I'll read them out. If you guys want to jump in. But I just said the Suns. I mean, KD. I mean, his other first choice is Miami for Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, Nikola Jovic, who was their first round pick in the draft, and then 3 more first round picks. So if that would happen, then the starting lineup, in my opinion, would be like, I don't know, like Game Vincent, like Jimmy Butler, Bam, Kevin Durant. I don't know. I think that their whole
That
roster
team's winning a
would be-
championship. Like Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo are in your starting lineup. Like nobody's
Yeah.
beating you outside of maybe the Warriors.
I think
Yeah,
they wanted Bam. I think they wanted Bam from the Heat. If he was,
maybe. I mean, I could be wrong, but like then there's KD, Memphis. You could have KD
Memphis.
and Ja. Yeah, KD and Ja, or like KD and Damian Lillard, or KD and Fred VanVleet. Yeah, like I mean, that's what Bleacher Report put. These
KD
deals,
and Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham.
these deals that I posted, those are the ones that Bleacher Report posted that are most likely to happen. So you never know. Like anything can happen with KD. I mean, he could be playing for the Magic. He could be playing for the, I don't know, like the Warriors or something. I mean, I like this every single year. Like the big guy who gets traded, like 1 to 2 weeks before the trade, you already know what team he's going to. Like even KD, when he got traded to Brooklyn, he's like, okay, New York and Brooklyn are KD's main destinations. But here they're saying like Phoenix, if Booker is included, but Booker just re-signed Miami. No one's really seeming too skeptical. Then they have like all these other teams. So in my opinion,
we don't really know where he's going to end up right now.
Clue.
I would say there's 6 teams that probably have an equal chance. I think
at this point, it's who has the best deal for him.
No, if I'm the Nets, I'm asking like for a significant overpay. Like, I'm asking for your star player, your all NBA guy, a bunch of picks, role play. I want like extreme compensation. I'm not trying to get like
Chris. I want a whole team.
No, exactly. Like if KD wants to go to LA, bro, give me LeBron. I'll take LeBron for KD. We'll just do the swap. Simple. KD wants to go to Phoenix, give me Booker. KD wants to go to Miami, give me Jimmy Butler. And throw Bam Adebayo too. Just give me everything. I don't care. Like
go to Toronto, get Siakam, and then we have a good team.
That would be a scam. I want Siakam. I want OG. I want like 4 first-round picks. I want everything.
Yeah, that's the deal. Yeah, OG, Gary Trent, 4 future first-round picks, 3 pick swaps. Yeah, like that's like a whole thing.
Because here's the thing: Kevin Durant at his best is like a top 2 player, if not the best player in the world. And I don't think there's been a situation like this in a long time. I don't even remember if there ever has been, where like the best player in the world, or one of the best, probably top 3, when healthy, has just like is willing to be traded. Like we've never had LeBron or Steph had to be traded like this.
LeBron, yeah.
LeBron's kind of done his own thing in free agency. Steph stayed with the Warriors.
Well,
So
LeBron's,
KD requesting.
LeBron's a player and a GM, so like it's all good.
Legit.
GM.
GM.
So I think I'm asking for a lot. I could send him anywhere. Like I could think of like 10. I could send him Phoenix, LA,
Toronto.
Warriors, Miami, the Hornets. I could send him send him to the Celtics. Give me Jaylen Brown. Give me a bunch of picks. Like give me any like. So all I want in return as an Nets fan is I want compensation, and I just never want to think about KD again. Like that's all.
Are you just like a Nets and a Lakers fan at this point?
Well, I'm going to LA, so I'm going to be the Lakers fan.
Yeah, or maybe a Clippers fan. Clippers.
Nah, we can't be a Clippers fan. You know, the Clippers. John Wall resigned for 16.5 million or something with the Clippers for 2 years.
He didn't re-sign. He signed.
Yeah, he signed. You know what I mean. That one was weird.
2 years.
That one was weird. That was weird.
Like you can't tell me that. Like it's
like
just
so
weird
random.
because John Wall hasn't been on the court for so many years. Like I don't even know what he is anymore. Like what is John Wall? Like how I don't know what his level is or anything.
Exactly. What John Wall are you getting? You're not getting prime John Wall, but I guess even if you get like, 3/4 of prime John Wall, you're getting at least a role player.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah,
I agree with you in that. Like $8 million a year. If you're getting like semi all-star John Wall for $8 million, that is a steal.
I mean, he's literally getting the same exact money as Bruce Brown Jr.
and that guy was like, and John Wall was an all NBA All-Star player like 2019. So
it's like almost it's Patty Mills money is what it is.
Yeah.
I
mean
Patty. I don't know why Patty Mills. I mean, actually, he did resign. I mean, the Nets for next year. I mean, going back to the Nets, just the one last question I wanted to ask about the Nets, like, what are your is the big three actually like a big failure? In my opinion, I think it is. But there are reports that like KD and Kyrie want to play together, but somewhere else, and I don't know where that is.
Bro,
I mean, the Lakers. Kyrie wants the Lakers, and
Dude, the Lakers are a retirement home at this point. Like, actually, like no joke. Like last year, it's not a joke anymore. Like they're actually going to become they're going to become like their retirement home. Like they're going to have a retirement home in LA next to the practice facility with like everyone when they retire and all the old guys. Like it's done.
LA is only interesting in is only in Kyrie. LA is interesting. So they're not gonna get the package deal. They're not gonna go for both. They're only gonna go for Kyrie.
I mean, who would they trade for Kyrie even?
Westbrook.
I mean, they just I mean, if I was the Nets, I would not want Westbrook. But like, I mean, the Lakers just got Toscano Anderson from the Warriors.
Bro, you're not trading him. Like I'm.
Yeah.
Which one were you gonna say?
Yeah, what were you saying?
Hold on.
Nothing.
There's a bit of a miscommunication. What's up? Who was the last to speak?
You were gonna say something about Westbrook?
Oh yeah, I'm not too. I don't see too much value in Westbrook anymore.
Yeah,
I don't think there's an equivalent.
Nobody does. Nobody does it for like LeBron. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even know like what team Westbrook would go to. Like I literally cannot think of any team that would want Westbrook for any reason.
Maybe the Magic would want Westbrook.
I mean, no, like okay, here's the thing. Any contending team is not going to take Westbrook. Any rebuilding team would not want Westbrook because they want to play their young players.
Send him to the G League.
So like they should send him to like the Jazz or like some team that's like in the middle. Like that's going to be like
Mitchell for Westbrook, then Kyrie for Mitchell.
That would be insane.
That would be cool. Yeah. But like, I mean, there's a lot more trades. I mean, the Lakers are just, I think something that surprised me before we go on to like some bigger deals like Jalen Brunson and PJ Tucker. Like we have like the Warriors. I mean, I don't know what you guys thought about it. I don't know if you guys even saw it because they weren't big, but The Warriors are trading their entire bench away. You have Gary Payton II to the Blazers, Toscans to the Lakers. You have the legend, Otto Porter Jr. He's traded to the championship city itself, the Toronto Raptors. And, and also like, I'm kind of confused why the Warriors would trade Gary Payton Jr. And honestly, all
He
three
was
of
a
those
free
players.
agent. He just signed. He wasn't traded.
Oh.
They all really just signed because
Yeah, he was a UFA.
yeah. All basically what happened is they just won a championship. The role players on a championship team, so teams want to give them big money, and the Warriors probably couldn't match because
that's logical. Yeah, that's logical.
I mean, it's like whatever.
Because the Warriors want all those good players again for another year, and
I mean, yeah, at this point, the Warriors might get KD. So like, I don't even know.
They're not getting KD.
Like, I mean, Wiggins and like,
Yeah.
I don't know, Wiggins and something. And
So you would have like Wiggins instead of like Pachulia for their big team when KD was there. That would be like you had like Curry, Tom. No, but they would but there's no way they would not include like somebody big in that trade.
You know what? Trade Draymond.
Yeah, trade Draymond. Yeah, trade Draymond to
the Nets. Give us KD. So Wiggins and Draymond for KD.
Give us. Are you a bandwagon now?
I'm a Nets fan. So like,
I'm a Nets fan. Okay.
Give us Draymond. I'll take Draymond. I love Draymond.
Okay. Yeah, actually, that'd be kind of funny. Draymond was there.
If Draymond got traded off the Warriors, you would not hear the end of it on his podcast. Like all he would be talking about was how he got traded.
Yeah, he would. He would just like quit basketball and just go full time. His podcast.
Him and Shannon. Oh my God, going at it.
He had like a live show with JJ Redick in New York. That was funny.
Yeah.
But speaking of New York, yeah, that's kind of smooth. But like Jalen Brunson is in it's science. He's officially in the Garden. Is he the missing puzzle piece? I mean, signed a big deal, 4-year, $104 million. And then you have Brunson, Barrett, Randall. I mean, there's speculation that Donovan Mitchell could go there. Like, could the Knicks have the potential to like be good next year? Like, make the playoffs? No. Yes. No. Okay.
I mean, you feel like you say it every year. I mean, they did resign Mitchell Robinson, which I like. I like Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, I like that too.
But you kind of start saying that every year. It's like they're putting pieces together, and they didn't make any sort of splash signings like they, all the speculation with KD a couple of years ago. But they're building up with pieces that aren't going to be nearly as known. But they're investing their money in younger pieces that maybe like. I think they're playing a bit more of a long game this time. I mean, Brunson's 26. I think it might have been a bit of an overpay, but you know what? If they wanted their guy, they were going to throw some money at him, and that's what they did. And I think he's going to be at least a quality starter for those 4 years. I don't know if he's going to necessarily develop into, a star, but I mean, would you rather have, like 4 stars with Brunson, Barrett, what's his name? Who's the third? Randall. Or would you have like one superstar and a handful of? It's just like it's a bit of a pick and choose, and I feel like they're going for the more well-rounded option. And frankly, I don't mind it. But like I was saying, maybe they could have cut off a little bit of the funds. I don't think 26 million a year is necessarily the right number.
Yeah, for a guy who's never been an all-star or like. I don't know.
I was going to say, the only taste I really got of Jalen Brunson last year was when Luka got injured. He did fill in quite nicely, but that was a bit of a small sample size. And his contract did end up setting the precedent for a bunch of other young guards. You look at the $100 million that Portland gave to Anthony Simons and the $90 million that OKC gave to Lou Dort. It's like, his contract was good pretty much for the rest of the league and the rest of those young point guards. But like, that's pretty much in terms of what it did for the Knicks. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I don't think a Randall-led team is going to ever get.
Yeah, that's not going
past
anywhere.
Like the second round in the playoffs.
Because Randall was just like, I mean, he had that one season where he played amazing in 2021, But even when they went to the playoffs, they have like minimal, they have like very, very little experience. So they're not going to go far. They lost to the Hawks in 5, and even the Hawks, I mean, the Hawks are now like a really dangerous team, which we'll get in a second. But like, yeah, the Knicks are just, they're one of those questionable teams where you have no clue. They could either like, in my opinion, they're not going to be above like the 10 or 9 seed. I mean, I think at best they would be in the play-in tournament. Yeah, but with the Hawks, I mean,
I'll put them
the
at
Hawks,
I'll put them at like 8.
yeah, 9 or 8, but definitely playing. That's what I think. But I mean, moving on to the Hawks. I mean, the Hawks are very dangerous next year. They definitely won this trade. I don't know what the Spurs were thinking, but the Spurs traded their all-star. So now there's a new, I guess, duo or trio. There's Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, or Young, Collins, and Murray. I mean, in my opinion, this team's going to be one of the most dangerous teams next year. I mean, they could definitely make a good run to like the second round. I mean, it's too early to tell, obviously, but that's what I think. And they have DeAndre Hunter. They kept a lot of their players. They traded away Daniel Gallinari, but I think Murray fills in just fine. You still have, Murray, Collins, Young. You still have DeAndre Hunter, Clint Capella, Bogdanovich. They did trade away Kevin Huerter, or Herder, however you want to say it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the future? Is this team going to be like the new dangerous team in the Eastern Conference?
I would think so. I mean, look, when you put together, they pretty much did a little bit of what the Pistons did. Now they have 2 lethal guards. DeJounte Murray has gotten better every single year he's been in the league. You can look at the numbers, and I feel like he is going to reach probably all NBA level if he keeps up at this kind of pace. You've got Trae Young, which I think a lot of people kind of disrespect a little bit. I feel like he is pretty much a guy that can score at will at this point. He's going to only get better. And they've got very solid guys up front, Clint Capella, and they're still getting more young talent with Keegan Murray. Whether or not he pans out, we'll have to see. But I think that not only have they acquired, the building blocks to a really dangerous, possibly championship team, but now that they've also insured themselves and given themselves a backup plan for the future as well. And I think they've done exactly what a lot of up and coming teams that are ready to make a statement should be doing.
Yeah, they're doing the right things. I think on San Antonio's side, they just waived Danilo Gallinari. I think they're going full rebuild mode.
Yeah, it's good for them because
I think it's fine that what they're doing there too. They know what they're doing. They'll get back. They'll probably get like a top 3 pick next year, and they'll probably do something.
It's
they
like,
need to get, sorry, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's like, are they going to rebuild kind of like once Pop leaves, is it going to be like a full rebuild from top to bottom? It's going to be interesting. It's like Pop cleaning house and then putting in an air.
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting because he has GM input. Like Pop is part of their executive staff, I guess I would say. Like he makes decisions. He was definitely in on the DeJounte Murray trade. So I don't know. It's kind of San Antonio is an interesting one.
But then one last deal. I mean, I feel like this team always gets some like decent player. I mean, the Sixers, the last, I guess, big deal of the first 21 and a half hours of free agency. I mean, PJ Tucker is to the Sixers. I mean, the Sixers are looking nice. I mean, Danny Green does have a torn ACL, so don't forget that. I feel like a lot of people are forgetting that. So the Sixers are obviously at a disadvantage because Danny Green is one of their, if not their best 3-point shooter. So in my opinion, like their starting lineup next year would be like Maxey, Harden, Tobias Harris, PJ Tucker, and Embiid, and then you have all these guys coming off the bench. So I think Sixers made a big move. PJ Tucker can shoot threes. I mean, I've seen it. I mean, he can shoot the corner 3 very well. So if they can run some offensive drills there, I mean, he can.
He has that Philly mentality. That's what someone told me.
Yeah,
I was talking to them about that.
Yeah, maybe John Nolan. Yeah, but he has that corner 3 ability. So I think it's a good deal.
37. I thought he was closer to early 30s. He's 37.
Yeah, he's old. He's finishing his career. He's trying to do a ring. He's trying to get a ring or something like that. I don't know.
Well, he already got
Yeah.
one with the Bucks, but
Yeah, so maybe not.
he's
I
doing
don't know.
the tour of every contender in the East, basically.
Yeah, maybe he's gonna go to like, I don't know, some
Did
like
Bucks, Miami. Now he's gonna go to the Sixers.
now he's gonna go to like the Hawks.
You know what would be insane? I actually forgot to talk about this. Just kind of on the Sixers. One last
Yeah.
thing before we wrap
Yeah.
this podcast up. KD to the Sixers would be crazy. And beating KD would be
That because the thing is the Sixers have so many good forwards. They have so many good forwards. They would trade away.
No, they would have to trade Harris, trade PJ Tucker, trade Maxey, Demi KD. Oh my
Whoa,
god, that's
Maxey. Whoa. Not trade Maxey. They're not trading Maxey. Trade Harris, trade Tucker, trade Embiid. No, I'm kidding. But trade Harris and
Oh wait,
Tucker.
trade Harden. Get rid of Harden. No, we don't need trade him back to the Nets.
That'd be funny.
'Cause,
Harden and Irving with that KD.
Yeah, then you'll have Maxey, KD, and Embiid, and like that's leading you to a championship. Like, there's no way that's not.
Yeah.
Like, unless there's injuries, that team is too lethal to.
Oh yeah,
to
injuries
stop.
would be bad. That'd be funny. Like KD signs and then KD gets injured like the first week of the season. Then they're just going downhill from there.
No, I don't know. KD has been very injury prone over the past few years, so that is actually a thing that all these teams have to consider
Worry about it.
when they trade for him. Like, okay, yes, you're getting the best player in the world, but will he even be there for the full season? Will he be there for the playoffs? That's another huge question. But that's going to be probably answered in the next few weeks. When that comes up, I'm going to, if the Nets trade him and the deal is bad, I'm going to be absolutely fuming. And I might just not be a Nets fan anymore. But we'll see. Definitely a very, very good podcast. Lots of stuff went on.
Wait, we forgot one contract. Bol, 2 years with the Magic. Bol's back. I love Bol.
Let's go.
Let's go. Bo's back.
All right, that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. We're now Views from the Sideline. Thank you very much, Mitch, for coming on. And we will see you guys next time.